Okay, let's see if we can get this one wrapped up before I run out of memory on my phone, because I think it's got a capacity of 64 meg and I'm like 63.9 or something crazy like that. So last couple of days I've been working on the heads on the flathead. So you've got two either side, one covering a row of 4 cylinders. This is obviously the driver's side, and I've managed to move all of the studs. There was one which is proving to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. That one's there, and you can see it's covered in black soot because I had to apply a lot of heat to shift the studs. Very easy to break them, so I had to be very careful. As a result, I'm pretty happy that I haven't actually broken any of those studs. So this head is now ready to come off, and the games will begin in the next couple of days after me and my kids have done our Christmas shopping, because it's only a week away. Rad. It's got a new radiator cap, filler cap, which came from a mob in Bayswater in Victoria, a company called TCR Components, and they're just lovely people to work with. Not the cheapest stuff in the world, but it is good quality. So thanks, John. Passenger side head, all but one of these studs has been removed, or hasn't been removed, but I've managed to get them turning. So this one here is the only one that is proving to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the other side, apply some heat, spray a lot of penetrant on, and then you just got to shimmy it from side to side. You can usually tell when a bolt's going to snap because it gives you a little bit, it proves to be a little bit of a struggle to move them, you know. It just puts up a little bit of resistance. I think that's the expression I was trying to look for. What else have I done on this side? Okay, so the wiring loom, which came out of this little hole here, was absolutely shot to buggery. There were, bits of it that had been cut off, bits of it that had been taped together to hold it all in one piece. And when I touched it, when I was moving it through the hole, the fabric covering on it, which I think is cotton, it's man-made, it's a natural substance anyway, it just literally disintegrated in my hands. It's just coming off in great big lumps. I'll show you what's left of the loom later. Don't think there's any point in keeping it. It's absolutely rat shit. Okay, so the carby, you've got a pipe that runs from the carburetor into the fuel pump. I think that's the fuel pump just there. This was all bent and buckled when the farmer tried to take off with the carburetor. He thought he might help himself to that after he'd sold it to me, but thankfully he took some pictures of it, and I realised he'd been half-inching stuff. So I said, hey mate, any chance you can put that back on? Otherwise I'm not paying you for it. So he's a bit light-fingered, bless him. So that pipe now, I've applied a bit of heat. If I just wander around, I can show you where I applied the heat. Just about, sorry, it's another really hot sunny day, so there's lots of shadows being formed. There you go, that's where I heated it up. And I just gave it a little bit of a twist so that I could reuse that pipe. It's all about trying to recycle stuff. Oh yeah, here's something else. So steering column, or this is the steering box. Here's your little filler cap, and that, look at that. How cool is that? That actually comes off. And while I can't see any steering fluid at all, it looks like the innards is pretty good. So I'll put that back in a minute. I'm not too good at holding a camera and then trying to screw and unscrew things back in again. So that's really cool. That came off with a lot of degreaser. Yeah, degreaser. That's what I sprayed on top of that. And then the other thing that I've done that I might have mentioned in one of the last videos is this is the oil filter. And I have opened it up. I've taken the canister inside and I've given it a flush and clean out. So that is about as good to go as it's going to be at the moment. So yeah, this weekend I'm going to try and see if I can get those heads off, which is going to be, I reckon that's probably the most challenging thing you've got to do on a flathead, really. I've also got to try and see if I can get the sump plug off the bottom of the engine sump so that I can drain what's left. Now here's something else I wanted to show you. This gives you an idea of just how terrible the oil is in the engine. So here is the dipstick. Go see if I can do this, and if you look at that. Isn't that gross? So one half of it is engine oil, and then the bottom half is just grey shit. I don't know what that is, but anyway, unfortunately, I don't think there's good things inside that engine, but that's just one of the dramas we have to face when we pull vintage vehicles out of scrap yards. Okay, so finally, there you go. That's the wiring loom. See, you look here, there's part of that that's been cut off and somebody's taped it off because obviously they weren't using it. And then you've got these little connectors up here and all these little sundries. They were used, I think, in the voltage regulator, which sits on the engine firewall on the outside. And then this stuff here, where is it? I think that's, so all of these little leads here went into, I think, what's called a condenser, which sits on the engine firewall. So there you go. But you can see, if you look closely enough, you can see this funny sort of fabricy, cottony, hessian type stuff that they use to create a protective covering to the wiring inside it. But I really don't think there's much I can do with that. So even though it's really, really old, it's a mess. And the best thing I think I can do is chuck it in those bins over there. Okay, guys and girls, that's it for today. Not sure whether I'm going to do any more videos between now and Christmas. And if I don't, Merry Christmas to all of you. Have a safe, happy and prosperous new year. And yeah, I should see you, I don't know, in the next sort of 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. We'll see how we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.